I saw these reindeer on Pottery Barn's website and thought I could maybe recreate them with some Dollar Tree items. While shopping at Dollar Tree, I came across these metal reindeer, so I picked up 3 of them. I'm gonna spray the reindeers with a white spray paint on the back and the front. To get the speckled look that I saw on the Pottery Barn reindeer, I'm going to add some sample terracotta paint that I had to a spray bottle. I'm also going to add in some water. I'll put the lid on the spray bottle and shake it up so it's a little bit watery. Next, I'm going to practice spraying on my table on my craft paper. Then when I'm ready, I'm going to spray it onto my reindeer. I realized that if the reindeer were flat, this worked a lot better so that the paint didn't run down. And here's how these neutral reindeer turned out. The look of mirror spray paint is very on trend, so I wanted to try to do a DIY where I incorporated that. So I picked up a new mirror spray paint that I'd never used before, and then I'm just gonna use some pine cones that I found walking around outside. I do love these, and every year I try to pick up several because I use them in so many different DIYs. So I'll place these pine cones on my spray paint turntable. This works great. I'll link it for you down below if you guys don't have one of these. And then I'm gonna spray 2 coats on one side. Once those dry, I'll spray 2 coats on the other side. I'm gonna style these in a bowl with a little bit of greenery. Now the bowl that I'm putting in, I actually picked up at the thrift store a few months ago. And to achieve the look on this bowl, I mixed some cream paint in with some Dollar Tree sand and painted the outside of the bowl. I think it gives a really great texture and it's a bowl you can use year round. I styled the pine cones with a little bit of greenery and here's how they turned out. So for this ornament, what I'm gonna be using are some acorn toppers. Now, I did buy these off of Amazon, so I will link them for you down below if you want to purchase them as well. And then I just used a stick from outside as my base. I'm gonna cut the end of my stick with a hacksaw so it has a nice flat edge. Then I'm gonna take one of my toppers and put it on the end and kind of determine how long I want them to be. I figured about 3 inches was good, but honestly for each of my mushrooms, I kind of measured them out and I wanted them all to be different since this was a really natural look. So I sawed all of the sticks down so that they fit on the toppers. I felt like the colors of my toppers and my sticks were too similar. So what I did to correct that was I just used an ivory sample color that I had and I lightly brushed that on my sticks. I felt like that really kind of enhanced the color of the sticks. Next, I'm gonna put some hot glue in my toppers and place the sticks inside. And then to hang them, I'm just gonna use a little bit of twine because I was going for that natural look and tie that off and I'll hot glue it on the top of my acorn toppers. And then you can hang them on your tree. If you're going for a natural look, these would look perfect in your home. I found these gorgeous marble trees on Crate & Barrel's website, but I wasn't into the price. So I'm gonna try to recreate them and you'll have to let me know how I did. So I picked up these foam cone pieces and I also ordered some marble paper. I feel like the marble paper is really important here. It's just a marble laminate that I got off of Amazon. So I'm gonna start by figuring out how long of a laminate piece that I need. So I'm just going to, with the backing on, wrap it around my foam cones. I'll cut off any excess. Now I'm gonna start wrapping it around my foam tree. So I'm gonna pull off one side of the backing, place it on. I'll wrap it as tightly as possible around my cone. I'm gonna cut a straight line on the laminate and then continue to wrap it on the cone. Next, I'll trim the laminate off of the bottom of my cone. I'll leave about a centimeter below the foam cone on the bottom. Now I wanted to create a base for this, and Dollar Tree has these wood plaque pieces, so I'm gonna use that as my base. They also have these dowel rods in a pack of 2. So I just used my hacksaw to cut down where I wanted these dowel rods to be. Since they are the same size, I wanted one a little bit longer than the other. Once I get them cut down, I'm gonna use a combination of E6000 and hot glue to add them to my wood pieces. And then I'll put a little bit of faux snow at the base to cover up any extra glue. Let this dry for several hours, then you can come in and hot glue your foam trees to the top of the dowel rods. And here's how these marble trees turned out. On one of my last Dollar Tree shopping trips, I found this house that, of course, I had to make gingerbread. Let me know if you guys are getting sick of this gingerbread trend, or maybe I'll stop, but I just love it so much. This house was $3. It was in the Dollar Tree Plus section. First, I'm gonna take out the candle that's at the bottom because I didn't want to get any spray paint on that. Next, I'm gonna spray it with the color Warm Caramel. Now, when I was spray painting, I had to make sure I got the inside of it because you can see that area. So I did a good job of getting probably 3 coats of spray paint on it. Once that was dry, I used that same white puff paint, and I'm just going to do a fun little scallop edge to the roof. And then I just tried to bring out all the details. So I went around the windows, I added in some fun, cute designs, but I just love it. Now with the puff paint, you wanna make sure you let this sit at least several hours to dry. I added back in the candle, and here's how it looks. Have you ever wondered what to do with these white trees from Dollar Tree? I'm gonna show you how to make a winter wonderland style tree. So you're gonna need 1 white tree. You're also going to need some of these crystally picks. I found these in the holiday section at Dollar Tree. I don't think I've seen these before, and I thought they would be really great on my tree. So I'm gonna start by opening up the tree and adding on the legs. Next, I wanted to add those picks. So I cut them down to be a little bit longer than the branches, maybe like 1 or 2 inches longer than my current branches. And I cut them down with just some wire cutters. I'm either gonna wrap them around the trunk of my tree, or I'll hot glue them in place. And they're just going to sit on top of my existing branches. I'm gonna keep adding my picks so I have them on each level of my tree. I'm also going to add a pick to the top. Now I'm gonna take it out and spray paint it. This was definitely one where I added and saw what it looked like and then added more spray paint. So I started by just doing quick shots of white spray paint on the top. I wanted it to look like the paint was coming down from the top, almost like snow. Next, I came in with a silver color. This was just a mirrored spray paint I had, and I just kind of sprayed it around the tree. Then I also added in a glitter spray paint, but I felt like it wasn't as glittery as I wanted it to be, so I actually sprinkled on some additional glitter. Now, if you're gonna sprinkle glitter on, make sure you do it when your spray paint is still wet. That's gonna help it adhere to your tree better. Let this sit outside, dry a little bit. What I use for the base is some Dollar Tree burlap fabric. They sell this over in the craft section. Open that up, and then I just pulled it up around my tree to look kind of like a big burlap sack. And then to hold it in place, all I used was a little bit of twine, tied it in a knot, cut off the excess, and here's how it turned out. Hey guys, I'm Liz, and you're watching my second DIY channel where I post daily DIY videos. You may be familiar with my main channel, Liz Fenwick DIY, but I'm glad that you found me over here on my second channel. Make sure that you're subscribed so you just get notified every day when I post our daily DIY video.